Subscribe to the channel! Click the button and subscribe now. Don't miss out, subscribe today! Yay!
Let me ask you something, and I need you to be honest with yourself. You've been running consistently for months, maybe even over a year. You've done your long runs, you've hit your intervals, you've tracked your pace, and yet your times are basically the same. Maybe a few seconds better, maybe not even that. You're putting in the work, you're not lazy. So what is going on? Here's the uncomfortable answer. You've been training hard, but you haven't been training smart, and there's a massive difference between those two things. If you caught last week's episode on aerobic base building, you already know that most runners are running their easy days way too fast. But today, we're going deeper, because there's a guy who figured out the training code at a level most coaches still don't fully understand, and his name is Kenenisa Bekele, world record holder, double Olympic champion, arguably the greatest distance runner who ever lived. And what made him so dominant wasn't talent alone. It was a specific approach to training that most recreational runners have never heard of, and even if they had, they'd probably brush it off as too simple. Stick around. Because by the end of this video, you're going to look at your training plan completely differently. And if you've been following this series from the beginning, this is the episode where everything we've been building toward actually clicks. Drop a comment below and tell me, do you actually know what your easy pace should be? Because most runners don't. Let's get into it. Here's the reality check. Nobody wants to give you the average recreational runner, and I say this with zero judgment because I've been there too. Runs almost every single run at the same pace, medium hard, not fast enough to get real speed gains. Not slow enough to build deep aerobic efficiency, just that awkward middle zone where your body kind of adapts, but not really. You're working hard enough to feel like you're training, but not hard enough to actually move the needle. Be honest with yourself. Is that you? Bekele didn't train that way, ever. What made the Ethiopian system the system Bekele grew up in, and mastered so different, was polarization. The concept is simple. Most of your runs are genuinely, almost embarrassingly, easy, and the hard runs are genuinely, brutally hard. No in between. Here's what that looked like in practice for Bekele in his prime. Around 80% of his training volume was done at what coaches call aerobic threshold, a pace where you can hold a full conversation, where your heart rate stays controlled, where your body is building the engine rather than burning it. And then 20% was absolute fire. Fast intervals, short recovery, high intensity, real work. Now here's what nobody really tells you about this system. The easy stuff isn't just recovery, it's not filler. Those slow miles were doing something critical inside his body, building mitochondrial density, improving fat oxidation, teaching his cardiovascular system to work with maximum efficiency at higher speeds. The easy miles were the foundation. The hard miles were just the test. Pence, Nissa. And here's what makes Bekele's story even wilder. He started doing this as a kid, running barefoot through the hills of Bekoji, Ethiopia. Long, slow runs in the morning. Fast runs up hills in the afternoon. No GPS watch, no training app, no analytics dashboard. Just feel, instinct, and a system that actually worked. Ridiculous that we have every possible tool imaginable today, and still get it wrong. Now, let me guess the excuses, because I've heard all of them. First one, I don't have time to run slow. I only have 30 minutes, so I need to make it count. Okay, I get it. But here's the thing. Running every short run at medium effort is like doing bicep curls with a weight that's just a little uncomfortable. You're doing something, but you're not building anything. A 20-minute easy run where your heart rate stays genuinely low does more for your aerobic base than a 20-minute run where you're pushing the whole time. Your body needs time at low intensity to build the systems that make you faster. There are no shortcuts around basic physiology. Para. Second excuse. Running slow feels lazy. I feel like I'm not doing anything. This one I actually understand, because it's a feeling I still fight. But that feeling is just ego. Your ego wants to feel the burn. Your lungs want to be working. Anything less feels like you're cheating. But here's the brutal truth. That feeling of working hard is often your body burning through glycogen inefficiently and accumulating fatigue that will quietly sabotage your next workout. Bekele didn't train to feel exhausted. He trained to get faster. Those are two very different goals. Be honest with yourself. Which one are you actually chasing? Third excuse. My easy pace is embarrassingly slow. I'd be humiliated running that slowly in public. Look, I'll say this once. Nobody on the street knows your training plan. Nobody cares. The only thing that matters is what happens on race day. And on race day, the runner who did the boring, methodical, consistent aerobic work is going to pass you in the final kilometer, every time. So, let's talk about the actual solution, what you can steal from Bekele's system right now. This week, without hiring a coach, without buying expensive gear, without restructuring your entire life, first thing, figure out your real easy pace. Not what feels easy when you're warmed up and feeling good. Your true conversational pace, where you could sing a full sentence out loud without gasping. For most recreational runners, this is slower than you think. Don't fight it, embrace it. Second thing, restructure your weekly runs into two clear categories, easy runs and hard runs, nothing in between. Your easy runs should feel almost too easy for the first 10 minutes. If you're regularly checking your watch and feeling proud of your pace on an easy day, you're going to the medium zone. Stop. Third thing, for your 1 or 2 hard workouts per week, actually make them hard. Bekele's interval sessions were brutal, short reps, full effort, controlled recovery. You don't need to copy his exact workouts, but the principle matters. If your hard days don't feel meaningfully different from your easy days, you're living in the medium zone and your body has no reason to adapt. Now, Diga, when was the last time you finished a workout and thought that was genuinely hard? If you're struggling to remember, there's your answer. É por isso que você não está melhorando. Fourth thing, add hills when you can. Bekele's natural terrain was hilly. Running uphill at easy effort builds strength without the pounding. Downhill running builds eccentric leg strength. Hills are free speed work that most flat road runners completely ignore. Here's the thing about Bekele that gets lost in all the stats and world records. He wasn't a machine. He had setbacks, injuries, years where nothing clicked. But the core of his training philosophy, polarized intensity, aerobic base first, consistent patient work, never changed. And that's what made him nearly unbeatable across an entire decade. You've been following this series. You've heard about pacing mistakes, about base building, about recovery habits, and all of those pieces connect to this same idea. Your body needs the right stimulus at the right intensity at the right time. Not just hard work, smart work. The runners who plateau aren't lazy. They're just stuck in a cycle of moderate effort that keeps them comfortable but never challenges their system enough to force a real adaptation. The change you need isn't dramatic. It's not a new plan or a new watch or a new pair of shoes. It's just 2 things. Get serious about going easy and get serious about going hard. Stop living in the middle. That's it. That's the whole secret. Simple, yes. Easy to actually do, not even close. Because it requires you to override the voice in your head that says this doesn't feel like enough. On your easy days, and I should probably back off on your hard days, seja honesto consigo mesmo about which voice you're listening to. Now, if you want to take what Bekele taught us and actually put a number on it, the next episode is going to be essential. Because we're talking specifically about breaking your 1OK time, and the single most important habit you need to start building right now if that's your goal. I'm not going to throw 10 different tips at you. There's one thing, one habit, that determines whether your 1OK times actually drop. And most runners either don't know about it or know about it and keep ignoring it. Next episode breaks it all down. You're not going to want to skip it. If this series has been helping you, hit subscribe because we've got a lot more ground to cover and every episode builds on the last. We're not just stacking random running tips. We're building a system. And you're already further along than most runners will ever get just by showing up here. Leave a comment below. Are you going to try polarized training this week? Tell me your current easy pace and your goal pace. I read every single one,